Eastern. And the goal is to build consistency, to build a little bit of community, suffer together on the floor often, and hopefully make a whole bunch of progress towards our side splits together. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We are doing some warm-up exercises right now, and these are called the hip cars. Hip cars are all about building strength and mobility at the same time, using your own muscles to get into your maximum range of motion. So we're going to start by lifting this knee directly up and keeping it high. Then we're going to open up that hip, point your knee directly out to the left or right, depending on how this video is mirrored for you. And we're going to keep that knee high as well. So right now from the side, I'm trying my best to get that hip completely open. From here, we're going to lift this ankle so that you're at least 180 degrees. And I want you to push a little bit further. Keep that ankle high, 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 high. And then we're going to bring that leg down and back behind our standing knee. This bent knee is going to travel. We're going to flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull this leg back, feel the stretch in the hip flexor. And that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Then we're going to reverse it, do 10 on the left, 10 on the right. So let's get started. Whew. Let's go. High knee. Open up that hip directly to the side as wide as you can. Rotate the leg up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, down and back. 1 is done. 2 is done. 3, 4, 5, 6. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. Let me know if I'm going a little bit fast, since this is just the beginning. I can still slow down for the end. I believe this has got to be 9. Maybe now it's got to be 10. All right. That is hip cards on one side. Give your hip a little bit of a pound, a little bit of a light massage, and we'll move on over to the other side. Hip cards. High knee. Lift that knee as high as you can directly to the front. You should be able to pull your knee a little bit higher, but I want you to try your best to use just your muscles. Open up that hip. Send that knee directly to the side. Rotate the leg. Try to get to horizontal. And then go a little bit further. Bring the ankle up, 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 up. And then bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Really pull this leg back behind you. That is 1 rep. We got 9 more to go. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 I think that's 5, 6, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, 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 down and back. I'm pretty sure we've done 10. Take a break, relax, give yourself light hip massage. Breathe. We're gonna go in reverse. Let's go. It's the same exact movements in reverse, but your brain is gonna have to refigure out how to go do things. And that's okay. Let's talk about it. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Really focus on pushing that knee back behind you. Then lift the leg directly to the side. Feel like you're a cool martial artist where you go, give something a kick. Try not to break anything. This is just for demonstration purposes. From here, really crank that ankle, or bring that ankle up, and bring the ankle all the way down. Lift that knee as high as you can. Bring it to the front, and that is 1 rep. We got 9 more. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last 2. Really focus on that end range of motion. Lift that knee as high as you can. Bring the leg as back far as you can. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel that stretch in the hip flexor. Lift the leg high. Rotate, bring that knee down, ankle up. Ankle all the way down. Lift that knee. It's at the side. To the front. I think that's 10. Okay, that is 3 of the 4 rounds of hip cars that we got. We got 1 leg left to go backwards, and we'll be done with hip cars. And after that, I'll come over to the chat, check in and see how people are doing. Okay, hip cars. Last side, let's go. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg back. Lift directly to the side, like you're gonna give somebody a nice kick in the face. Very, very short person in the face. And then we're gonna rotate that ankle up, 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 up. Bring that ankle down, lift that knee high, and pull that knee to the front. I got a little thing right here, somewhere between like 15 and 45 degrees, where my hip cracks and creaks and is very unhappy on that first rep. And then after the first rep, once it does that big crack, it goes away and it's fine. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. There we go. Boom. Happened. Back, side, ankle up, ankle knee, front, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3, 4, 5. Side. Lift that leg. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, lift directly to the side. These muscles in the hip are getting tired. Rotate the ankle up, rotate the ankle down, bring the knee forward. I have absolutely no idea. I'm so bad at counting when I'm trying to talk about how to focus on the stretch. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, forward, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, forward, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, forward. I think this is 9. Based on how tired my hips are, I think this is 9. And 10. Okay, those are hip cars. Grab a sip of water, enjoy a little break. I'm gonna come over to check the chat and see how everybody's doing. Foxy Roxy W on YouTube says, hi, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well. Okay. Oh man, Anna's. I'm scrolling up to the top of the chat so I can see these in chronological order, but I saw Anna say, but I'm so happy every time I see your videos. Yay! I don't know what the rest of the things she's saying but I'm happy. Okay. Scrolling down. Chess says hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Evera, welcome back. Scrolling back down. Travel with Roxy says, hi, everyone. Anna says, hi. You have finally inspired me to do the exercises instead of just watch. Yes, it worked. The trap worked. If I just keep on exercising a ton in front of people, eventually they'll exercise too. I don't know why I thought that was a trap that worked. But I'm so happy every time I see videos. Lovely. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. Now I understand the context. Let's see. We got a little bit more. We got a compliment. Somebody said cute. Esma says day 3 in a row of following this life. Amazing. This is awesome because it's the holiday season. So, some people might have a lot of time and some people might have absolutely no time at all. I don't know what your situation is, but it's incredibly hard for a lot of people to start new things at this time of year because they're like, oh no, I'll start in January, on January 1st with the New Year's resolution. So I appreciate that you have been here for 3 days in a row. You're just doing it, coming in and crushing consistency. Welcome to day 3. Sarah says day 2. Welcome back, Sarah. Thank you for coming back today. It's good to see you. Moreau asked, hello, have you started yet? We just finished tip cars. I'm sweating, taking my first coffee sip break. And we're about to move on into some elephant walks. Hey, Gayeta, welcome back. Okay, I'm putting down the coffee. Let's go. It's time for some elephant walks. If you don't know what elephant walks are, they look a little bit like this. We are folding at the hips and trying to bring our belly button down. If this is the deepest you can go right now, that's okay. You're just gonna chill here for a little bit. If you're a little bit higher up, or even higher like this, that's absolutely fine. It's all part of the process. And all we wanna do is do a little wiggle, shake out the body, just relax, chill, and breathe. If your hamstrings are tightening up, that's okay. That's exactly the point. And we're just gonna relax there for a little bit. This is the warm up, so we're not doing anything super intense just yet. We're just giving our body a little bit of a chance to get used to all the stuff that we're about to put it through. Cool? All right. Do a little bit of a wiggle. If your arms and shoulders and back have been feeling tight, imagine relaxing those. You don't have to focus every inch of your energy onto your hamstrings. It's not that intense. Okay, now that we've hung out here for a little bit, let's start bending one knee and straightening the other leg. What you should feel is the tightness in that hamstring just be all weird, a little wiggly, a little shifty even, and it maybe doesn't hurt, but is very uncomfortable, very strange. That is what we're looking for. We're looking for your body to be in a tight hamstring stretch, and then you using those muscles so that they are forced to shift around when they're already stretched out. Keep on focusing on that belly button. Bring it down a little further. Keep on bending those knees, going from side to side and side to side. You might, as you do more of these, feel a little bit of a tingly sensation in your calves, in your toes. That is also normal. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more seconds of these. I hope your hamstrings are feeling a little smoother. Maybe you notice you can bend your knees a little bit further. Maybe your belly button is coming closer to the ground. If any of those are true, then you're going in the right direction. Okay, we're gonna do 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, come on up. Shake out the legs. If your toes and calves are feeling a little tingly, it's a great time to shake out your legs. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Do some mini squats. All right. It seems like we're taking a break from that position, but we're actually getting right back into that position so we can do some thoracic rotation. I'm facing the front now, so it's easier to follow what my arms are doing. We are going to fold forward, as usual. Bring the belly button down towards the ground. We're gonna bend one knee. We're gonna straighten out that other leg, and we're gonna reach our hand across our body to the straightened leg. We're gonna push on that straightened leg to help our chest rotate out to the side. So my right leg is straight, I'm rotating to the right. My right hand is going up into the air behind us, pointing somewhere behind me. My eyes, my neck are rotated as well to look at where my hands are pointing, and come on down. Now the other side. Left side leg is straight, right hand is reaching to push against the left side, chest is rotating to the left, left arm is going up, eyes are looking at the left hand, and come on down. That is 1 rep. We're gonna do 5 more of these. Keep on going. Reach, 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 reach. Reach, 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 reach. Again, we are reaching across the body, pushing, rotating that chest out to the right, hand up to the right, head out to the right, and back. And left. While you are doing these, if you want to make these a little bit harder or a little bit different, you can focus on bringing the belly button down to the ground one more time. And suddenly, the stretch is going to change a little bit. If you need to, take a little bit of a break. Breathe. I think this is 4. I honestly lost count. Again, we're only counting to 5. I can't believe I lost count. That's a little bit embarrassing. But I think that's what happens when I try to talk so much. And I think with that, we are done with number 5. I hope your shoulders are feeling a little bit of that pressure. I got it right here in these muscles. Wasn't expecting it, honestly. Okay. Whew. I've been doing this for months and months and months and months. I don't think I've ever noticed it in this muscle, so that's unusual. Okay, all right. We are done with part 2 of our elephant walks and the thoracic rotations that we do with them. The thoracic rotations are extra good for your back because I bet most of you aren't doing much of this and rotating and taking care of that range of motion available to your back. In fact, probably the only thing that you do is just barely look over your shoulder when you check your blind spot, if you do that at all. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of thorough thoracic rotation. Hope your back is feeling a little bit better. Your shoulders, your arms are feeling a little bit better, because that is all we are doing for those. We are moving on into stretch number 3, the Cossack switch, and it looks a little bit like this. I'm gonna scoot back so I make sure everything is on camera. And I'm just not cutting off a leg and talking about it. We're gonna open up our legs decently wide, point them out 30, 45-ish degrees. It's not super important right at this immediate moment because we can adjust at any time. This leg is the leg I'm going to drop down on. I want you to make sure when you squat, which is what we're about to do, your knees are traveling in the same direction as your toes are pointing. So I want your knees to go whee, same direction your toes are pointing. I don't want your knees to end up over here or over here. 1 is bad for balance. 2, it puts a lot of pressure on your knees. I don't have a 3, so just 1 and 2. Come on over. We're gonna try our best to drop down to one side. I want you to experiment with what angle works for you. You don't have to do exactly what I am doing, but I want to show you what is happening over here. We are bringing the knees in front of the toes, and we're gonna feel this Achilles tendon stretch down here. It's gonna lead into a calf stretch. You got 2 big calf muscles. You got the big, cool, sexy one up top, and then you got the one that's hidden underneath. That one that's underneath is what's getting stretched here, and you should feel it getting real tight underneath that big bulbous calf muscle. And you're gonna feel a bit of pressure in the ankle, gonna feel a bit of pressure in the hip. We're going to chill out there in that position. So now that you've seen what it's supposed to look like, I want you to shift that leg so that your hamstrings are resting on your calves. Find an angle that works for you. Your heel might come up a little bit, but the goal is just to squish down and try to get nice and compact for a little bit. Cool. Oh. All right, once you found your spot, let's talk about this leg. Right here, this puppy is doing external leg rotation, which means the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. External leg rotation is basically rotating your leg towards the outside of your body, right? If you were standing and our legs were neutral, pointing right in front, external leg rotation would be pointing the toes out to the left or right, depending on which leg you're doing. So if we take this leg position and we drop down into a squat, this is still external leg rotation because it's still rotated towards the outside of the body. So, boom. Now you know why that word is called what it is. From here, I want you to notice, this is basically a side split. All right? This leg is pointed out there. And if you drop a little bit lower, then you got one side that's basically in a side split. Whew. What we are doing here, and the purpose of this external rotation is we're moving the thigh bone to rotate it out of the way so that when you go down into this position, the thigh bone does not smash into your hip bone. We've rotated out of the way so the thing that smashes is behind our butts and not stabbing right into our hip. Cool? Now that we've hung out here for a little bit, let's move our butts over to the other side. You can do this the easy way, but just put your hands down, give yourself a lot of support, lean into it, come over to the other side, and you can chill here. But before we chill, I want you to do that stretch for the calf. I want you to keep your knees traveling the same direction as your toes. Put your knees over your toes if you can. Feel that Achilles tendon stretch, the calf stretch. Feel the pressure in the front of the ankle, feel the pressure in the hip. Hang out here for a second. Once your quads are screaming at you to chill out, try your best to squish down and rest with your hamstrings on your calves. Your heels might come up a little bit, and that is a-okay. But do try your best to squish down and get your heels as low as you can. All right? On this side, same thing, external leg rotation. Now that we've talked about it once, I don't need to go as deep. Heels down, toes up, knees up. Cool? This is just setup. We're just pre-stretching this hip. The hard stuff has yet to come. We are going to do 10 sets, not 10 sets, 10 reps. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, 10 sets. 10 reps going from side to side. 10 to the left, 10 to the right. In this case, it's about on the left side. 10 to the right and then back, 10 to the left. And this is what I want you to try to do. You can hang out in the seated position for a little bit. I'm gonna do 2 demonstrations and then you guys can start and follow along. Cool? We're gonna put our hands down for the easy version and help support our body weight as we go from side to side. I want you to try to keep your heels planted when you come to the other side. And I want you to try to have your heels down, toes up, knees up onto the other side when you get there. I want you to hang out for about a second, half a second on each side, just to give it a moment of squish before you go right on back. All right? If you are struggling real hard to keep your heels from getting onto the ground and they just keep on coming up, for now, it's okay. As you get better, know that the goal is to bring the heels down to the ground. Cool? If you are feeling a little bit more advanced, you can get your heels down, you don't need your hands as much, you can get into a slightly more powerful position, push that leg in front of you, your muscles in the hip are gonna start firing, and you can shift your butt over from side to side with your arms out in front of you to help you counterbalance. All right, those are your 2 versions. It's time to get started. We're doing 10 reps to either side. Let's go. 1, chill. 1 part 2, chill. 2, chill. 2 part 2, chill. 3, chill. 3 part 2, chill. 4, chill. 4 part 2, chill. If you need to take a break, take a break. Don't worry. Just ignore my counting. Or I guess I'm chilling with you at the same time. So come over to the side. 5. 5 part 2, chill. 6. Again, we're trying to squish down into that bottom position. We're trying to force that hip to get used to getting low, getting our heels down to the ground. I think this is 7. I talked a bunch. Immediately forgot what I was counting. 8, chill. 9, 9 part 2, chill. 10, 10 part 2, chill. If you are still going, you're catching up, you need to take some breaks in between, don't worry, take your time. I talk a lot, so you got plenty of time to catch up. That was the Cossack switches. We did 10 reps from the left side, 10 reps from the left to the right. And now your hips are probably really tired and you're probably really tired. And that's great because that is the end of our warm-up. If you're scared because I said this is the end of our warm-up, don't worry. The rest of our workout is stretches. It's not nearly as intense as the Cossack switch. The Cossack switch was probably the worst part. But the Cossack switch is important because it works a whole bunch of these different muscles and basically strengthens us so that when we do the other stretches, we are ready to go. All right, that was hard. Grab a sip of water. I'm gonna come back to the cameras, check the phones for a little bit of relaxation in between. Oh, make sure to drink lots of water, stay hydrated. Whew. Lulu came back in and says hello with a wave. Hello, hello, Lulu. I'm scrolling. Still scrolling. Okay. Scroll. Travel Doctor says, my back needed this for sure. Oh man. MMMAHRIAMA. Hariyama says, my shoulders needed that. Lovely. I'm glad the thoracic rotation was helpful and useful for you. Let's see. Scrolling all the way down. I have the flexibility for this, just lack the leg strength when shifting back to the next leg. Have to use my arms. That is absolutely a-okay. I have the opposite problem. I don't have the flexibility, I have the strength. So our training is going to end up being a little bit different, but the actual movements are basically the same, right? So it's awesome that you know you have the flexibility, that you can get into position very comfortably, and that all you need is a little bit of support so that you can start training the strength to get in and out of those hard positions. Boogie sends a bunch of emojis with biceps and sparkly crowns, and thank you. Sarah says, or I can just not go as deep. You can absolutely do that. You can take your time building up strength as you go. If you have some yoga blocks, something to help shift your hands up, you can probably go a little bit lower and slowly build your way up with a little bit of hand support. You can give that a try. Gayeta, Travel Artist, says, Merry Christmas. Gayeta must have said Merry Christmas too. Ken, I need an alternative for quad stretches. I had the most painful cramp yesterday. Oh no. Let's see. Quad stretches. The main thing for the quad, because it's at the front of the leg, is that when your leg is straightened, the quads are flexing, right? So this is the shortened position for the quad, and to stretch it out, you just want to lengthen it as much as possible. It's not just the bend at the knee, it's pulling the leg back behind you. If you pull too far back, it becomes a little bit more of a hip flexor stretch, but your hip flexors are tied pretty close in to those quad muscles. So I think you can start by doing this. If balance and holding this is a little bit tiring, you can probably do something like this and just chill for as long as you can. If you want, you don't have to do it so that you're just floating and using your abs to hold up. You can lean back against something, and that will give your quads a little bit of a stretch. Alternatively, you can experiment. Maybe contracting and relaxing at the same time will help the cramp go away. If you flex your glutes and you hold yourself up, you do a couple of these kind of intense exercises that sort of put some pressure onto your quads, maybe that will help you regain control of the quad muscle that's cramping by putting it in a really weird position where it has to flex, but for you, instead of just randomly spasming out and being a pain in the butt for you. I hope that helps. Let's see what else we got in here. That definitely feels almost like a side split. That was awesome. I hope to achieve one soon. Amazing. Yeah, the Cossack squat or the Cossack switches are really, really, really good. They help you get into that deep range of motion. Maybe not all at the same time, but you got really good hip mobility trained, and you get stronger while you train the mobility. So it's great. Okay. Ken, how long have you been exercising? I have built a strong foundation when I was a teenager, and then I made a whole bunch of decisions throughout life to be a weirdo and take the stairs and jump around and climb things. And even though I didn't exercise very thoughtfully during a lot of it, I spent a lot of time just doing fun stuff and being active. And this most recent round, where I've been refocusing on fitness, has been mostly side split stretching. I do 15 minutes to an hour of side split stretching every single day. The hour being the live, and as you can see, I'm doing a lot of talking during the live, so it's still like 20 minutes of side split stretching, pretty much every day for the last year and a month. And for about 2 of those months, while I had a gym in the building, I did a lot of calisthenics and strength training. But I am a little bit dialed back on that right now. But I'm in another building that has a gym, so maybe I'll pick that up in a little bit. Okay, I think that's all the questions and all the comments. So let's get into the stretches. We have taken a nice long break. I hope you have hydrated and you weren't just super engrossed in the phone as I answered these questions. Let's grab a cushion and drop down to one leg. We are doing some hamstring stretches. They look a little bit like this. We are dropping down, pointing our knees, hips, shoulders directly forward, sticking out our leg directly forward. If you're having a little bit of trouble with balance, you can try to widen this leg behind you and widen that leg out in front of you. You don't need that much, but just a little bit is absolutely a-okay. From here, I want you to focus on bringing your belly button down towards your thigh, and this is the hamstring stretch that we are going to get into. From here, you might be tempted to start going into something that looks more like a front split or a big lunge. We don't want that. We are trying to get some hamstring stretch done, and we're gonna stay focused on that hamstring stretch. So pull that leg into the hip socket and fold forward. Ooh. Okay. Oh man, my hamstrings are tight today. Okay. Bring the belly button down to that thigh. And while your hamstrings are going crazy over here, I want you to take a big deep breath in. Slowly exhale and fold at the same time. Ready? Inhale. Slow exhale. Bring the belly button down. Okay, take some normal breaths. Your hamstrings or maybe even your calves are mad at you. That's okay. As long as you're not explosively dropping down, you're gonna be fine. One more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Slow exhale. Fold. Try to keep your back relatively straight. As long as you're not, going like this is probably fine. If you're not putting all of the pressure on one or two joints, you're gonna be okay. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Come on out of that hamstring stretch. Relax for a second. Breathe normally. And then we're going to spin around and we're going to continue. I don't know how this works, but somehow every time I turn around, I forget which leg we had just stretched and how to get into the position for the next leg. And, I'm aware that as I tell you this, you're probably like, what's wrong with Ken's memory? He can't count. He can't figure out which leg he just stretched. I don't know. Okay. Once again, we're trying to bring the belly button down to the thigh. So once you are here, your hips are forward, your shoulders are forward, your head is forward. Pull that leg into the hip socket. We're going to fold forward. Feel that hamstring tightening up. Then we're going to take a nice big deep breath in. Inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. If you are feeling discomfort in the knee, you can give it a slight bend. If you do give it a bend, try really hard to bring your belly button down and even your chest down towards that leg, because bending the leg will decrease the hamstring stretch. So you should be able to fold a little bit more forward to compensate. Cool? From here, if you are a knee bender, you can focus on bringing the chest and the belly button down first and then straightening out the leg at the very end, so the uncomfortable part comes after you've already gotten maximum flexibility. Cool? For the rest of us, we're gonna do one more inhale, one more exhale. Try to keep your back relatively straight. I don't wanna see this. I can't see it, but I don't want you to do this where your head is really down and all of the bending is coming from your upper back. This is coming from your hips. Inhale, exhale. Normal breaths. And I think we've already done 2 inhale exhales, so let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you're a regular and you're trying to figure out how to make this a little bit more intense, if this isn't already intense enough for you, you can imagine putting pressure into the heels, like you're gonna punch that heel into the ground. I don't know if punch with your arms and heels make sense together in a sentence, but you're pushing your heels deep into the ground. You're contracting your hamstrings. You're contracting your muscles, trying to push your heels in. The muscle's gonna get even tighter. You're gonna hold that for 10-ish seconds and then try to relax. You might be able to get a little bit of relaxation in that hamstring. You might be able to fold a little bit more forward after you do that contraction. This is also called PNF stretching. And I'm going to try my best to slowly integrate it into our training over the next couple of weeks, one muscle group at a time. It is a way to more thoroughly strengthen and stretch out your muscles. I am pretty sure we've done way more than 30 seconds after that long explanation. So come on up out of that stretch, come back into standing, and we are done with the hamstring stretch. You can get rid of this cushion, get rid of this pillow. You don't need it anymore. I forgot to tell you to go grab it in the first place. That's my bad. We are moving on into stretch number 2. It is called the butterfly stretch. I'm going to use this table leg for support for my back, but I recommend you in general to get to a really solid, durable wall, like so. Put your hips, your shoulder, your head against that wall so that you have something to push against for maximum stability. Bring your feet together, pull your feet in, and try your best to bring your knees down into the ground. This is the butterfly pose, and the focus is here in the groin. We're stretching out these muscles. The way to do that is to bring your knees down to the ground. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to use your glutes. I want to use your muscles to start the movement, because at the end of the day, we always want to try our best to get stronger while we get more flexible. So, as you start flexing those muscles, take your hands, apply a little bit of pressure. As you're applying pressure, you start feeling your head, your upper back pushing into the wall behind you, and that's because your arms are attached to your upper back right next to your head, and that is where your force is getting applied. The wall is there to keep you from falling backwards. So, if you're feeling pressure in the back of your head, then this is working. Okay, let's go. Contract those muscles, push your legs down, and we're gonna hold and push for 30 seconds. I'm gonna get to a place where my legs actually fit, which is here. It's not as nice as a wall, but that's okay. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Oh, my hips are achy today. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Remember to breathe. We are flexing those muscles, but you can relax them and then tense them again, and relax them and tense them again. If your butt muscles are flexing and tensing, maybe you'll notice that you're getting taller and shorter and taller and shorter. I'm just seeing my reflection in the camera. Reflection? My visual, my image in the camera on screen. All right, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Try to relax all the muscles for a second. Really push down with your arms. Flex those muscles again. Feel the difference. Feel what's getting stretched, what's fighting your hands. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay. Let the hands go. Relax for a second. If you were really contracting those muscles in your glutes, in your outer thighs that whole time, your legs might feel like they're stuck. They're stuck in place. That is totally normal. That's what happens when you start flexing the muscle really hard as you can for 30 seconds. So you can start by just lifting up one of these legs with your hand, and suddenly it will just wake up and you'll be like, oh, look, my legs work again. Awesome. All right, come back up into standing. Take your time. I got up really fast. Shake around, move, pump those legs. Get your hips working again, and we're gonna get into some standing pancake. The standing pancake looks basically like this. We're opening up our legs. It doesn't have to be crazy wide. The goal is to actually fold forward at the hips so that we're getting to this position. If it looks like I'm just trying to touch my toes, but my legs are like kind of apart, that's exactly right. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. We're trying to keep the low back straight, focusing on the belly button, bringing it down towards the ground. Whew. Once you are in this position, your back and your legs are basically at 90 degrees at this angle. You can widen your stance as much as you want. Whatever's comfortable for you. You should be able to get pretty much as deep as you would in a side split from this position, because the pancake and the side split are very closely related. From here, I want you to focus on folding forward, and one of the best ways to do that is to take advantage of gravity. What gravity is doing right now is working on this whole lever from your hips to your head and helping to pull you down. You're straining muscles to help keep yourself stable. In fact, you probably want to fall forward and collapse a little bit. What we want to do is stick our arms out, maybe even hold something in front of us while we stick our arms out. Hold that position and try to fold our belly button down towards the ground. That is the whole entire stretch. If you're having problems with balance, you can try to stick your butt a little bit further back. And that's the tips. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. This is going to be really tiring and tiring fast. The deeper you are, the weaker you probably are in that position, and your inner thigh muscles are probably going crazy. That's okay. You can always put your hands down for a quick break if you need it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, come on out of that stretch. If you were in it pretty deep, it's gonna take a little bit of time for you to get out. It's okay, same for me. You can walk your heels and your toes in together to help you bring your legs back in. If you don't know what that means, it's something like this. You rotate your heels in, you rotate your toes in, you rotate your heels in, and your toes in. Pretty sure I said that in the wrong order. It didn't match with my feet doing whatever my feet were doing. Whew. Okay, we're back into standing. That was a standing pancake. Standing pancake is really hard because we're asking gravity to do a lot of the work to help pull us forward. And unfortunately, we gotta do work to make sure gravity is helping out, right? That's a pro and a con. A lot of us need to build a bunch of strength in these muscles in order to be able to hold these positions. So when you have to do this for 30 seconds and you're also in a stretched out position, you're going to be really, really weak relative to, how comfortable this position is. And you're trying to build strength here. So this is technically really good for you, but it's going to feel bad because you're going to be suffering, you're going to be struggling. But I hope you know now that's exactly what you need. If you're struggling with this really bad and you want to make it slightly easier, here is a variation for you. You can get basically into the same position. Make sure this chair doesn't slide out from underneath your bum. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a very good job of securing it, but this is just a quick demonstration, so it's okay. From here, we want to fold forward, all right? So I want you to imagine that this is me sticking my butt really far back, me still bringing my belly button down as low as I can go, and putting my hand out in front. Having something to sit on makes it so that you can still get gravity to help pull you down and give you some assistance, but you don't have to hold up your whole entire body weight with just your legs. You got a little bit of butt support. Cool? So that is a seated pancake. We usually do a standing pancake. And the higher the seated pancake, the more assistance you will have in getting into it. So the tighter your hamstrings, the easier it will be to be in a higher seated pancake. Okay. My mouth is so dry. I'm gonna come in, check out the chat real quick. Oh, 49 new messages. TikTok is having fun. Don't worry, those aren't actually like people talking. It's all of the notifications about people coming in. But what if you can't stand and grab your foot? Ooh, good. I am glad that I followed up with the bending backwards kneeling thing. Sarah says, wow. I want to learn this. What did I do? What did I do? What is everybody excited about? Was it this thing where you're just kind of like kneeling and then you kind of go backwards and then come back up? Oh. Jeff said, I found your YouTube page. Hey, awesome. Okay. Scrolling back down. Still scrolling. Che, thank you for the glow stick and the rose. I appreciate it. And the donut. Oh my God, you're sending a whole bunch of stuff over. Thank you. Sarah says, yes, I need to build strength. Absolutely. Strength, everybody. I will never tell you otherwise. You always need strength. You don't need, insane amounts of strength, but you're probably not going to get very easily to the points where it would be extreme, right? If you look at the super big bodybuilders or the strongmen who are just ginormous walls of a person, those people train for years and years and years, sacrifice their whole entire lives to be crazy, 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 crazy strong. There's just a very little chance you're going to put in 10% of the effort that they're going to put in because it's their whole lives. All right, we got other stuff to do. And so you guys don't probably have to worry about looking like a strongman or a bodybuilder. It's very unlikely that that can happen without a lot of effort in a very specific way. So for everybody, focus on getting stronger. Because as you age, your muscles will get weaker, and the stronger you are right now, today, the stronger you'll be in the future. All right, cool. I think I covered all the chats for the most part. Actually, I did not look at YouTube at all. I think that's it. Okay, well, didn't have to. Let's continue. We are done with the third of our 5 stretches. It's time for number 4, the most relaxing of all 4 stretches. And it is the pigeon stretch. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure we did the figure 4. So let's get into some pigeon. I don't even need the blocks yet. I don't know why I grabbed them so early. The pigeon stretch looks basically like this. We're bringing the ankle across our body. We're lifting it up. We're bringing our chest down towards this leg. And we're feeling the stretch out here in the side of the glute, in the side of the hip, and maybe possibly in the hamstrings on the inside. All right? The pigeon is basically that. If you drop down onto the ground, the leg is coming across the body. The other leg goes behind you, and we focus on folding forward from here. For our purposes, we really care about this section of the stretch, but in a pigeon, this back leg is also getting stretched in the hip flexors. So if we were doing something that was more active, like going forward and back and forward and back, forcing this set of muscles to get stretched out over and over and over again, then it would be very important to have this leg be straight back and this flexibility getting work done. But most of the time we are just chilling, leaning forward, folding flat, so this back leg doesn't actually get that much work. What that means is if you can't stick your leg directly back behind you, you can totally just give it a nice bend. Or you might be able to get into this position if you focus on trying to keep straight and rolling over to the other side and staying low. Because at the end of the day, this is basically just laying down and pulling your leg up to your chest, right? If you can get into that position, great, that's all you need. If you want to make sure every second of this stretch is helping you get into a better, more proper pigeon, and I commend you for that dedication to doing it right, you can elevate your front leg. So if you put that front leg up on something stable, I don't actually recommend yoga blocks because these are kind of wobbly. You can elevate your hips so that this back leg is a little bit higher. I am not at all visible from this angle. So that this back leg is a little bit higher, and that will give you space so that you don't have to be as perfectly flat to the ground. Does that make sense? Elevate your front leg. And, just to really thoroughly make the point, if you elevate the front leg really, really, really high, the back leg is just barely tiptoeing to keep in touch with the ground. And you can still focus on the stretch, the main part of the stretch. Right here, this back leg is working as hard as it needs to touch the ground. So from here, basically no stretch in this leg. From slightly elevated yoga blocks, plenty of stretch. From the floor, a bit more. Cool? All right, get into the position that you need to get into. If you're doing the figure 4, because you know exactly what's happening and what you want, go ahead and set up. Let's go. We're gonna bring that leg across the body, gonna fold over it, try to get your hips low, and then bring your chest down over after your hips are low. because that is how you will feel that stretch. Keep this ankle pushed away from you. Let's go 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Whew, I hope you enjoyed the pigeon on that one side. It's the most relaxation that we get for sure. Bring that other leg over up in front. 90 degrees. Come on up. Keep your hips low to the ground. Fold forward. Stick that leg behind you. And let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. You can try to straighten out your back. Wow, my head is totally cut off. You can try to straighten your back, and that will help gravity put a little bit more force into the leverage point, which is here at the hips. If you totally just flop down and start relaxing, your hips will stay at that same angle, but your head will already be down. And you can experiment what works better for you. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Remember to breathe. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on up. That is the pigeon stretch. We are done with all of the pre-stretching, the pre-exercising, the warm-up, all that good stuff. It's time for some side splits. If you're wondering why we do all those other things to begin with, it is because the side splits require a whole bunch of coordination between a bunch of different muscles to get into. And when we do the other stretches, it's to make sure that we have systematically went through all of the other muscles, or all of the muscles, and one by one, make sure that they're stretched, make sure that they're warmed up, make sure that they're ready. So when you get into the side splits, it's not the first time that any of those muscles have gotten worked, and hopefully it means you get better results. And the warm-up mostly is to get a little bit of, the hamstrings going, just loosen up your body, get yourself sweating. The Cossack switch is basically a side split with power. Okay, let's talk about side splits. Whew. I'm out of breath. I talk too much. Okay, side splits. We want to talk about safety first, because the side splits is a really intimidating and kind of scary position, especially if you're like, what if I just smash my butt into the ground and rip my legs open? That's crazy. Don't worry, that is incredibly unlikely to happen, because your body is determined to defend itself and keep you from getting into unsafe positions. That is what lack of flexibility is. It's your brain going, nope, not doing that. That is not cool. So a lot of the training that we're doing is just trying to convince our brains that this is safe and good. And one of the ways you can do that is to make sure you feel safe, you feel relaxed, you feel like you're just chilling. Which is a good reason to remind you, you should not stretch with the goal of getting more stretchy if you are short on time. If you're rushing from things from side to side and just going like, oh man, I have to finish this ASAP, it's going to be really hard for you to chill. And if you can't chill, it's really hard for your brain to just be like, oh, this is safe, this is cool. I'm not totally stressed out. So try your best to be calm and have a good time. I know I talk fast. I'm trying to bring high, good, positive energy, but you should try to be nice and chill. Cool? All right, from here, I forgot we started this because we want to talk about safety. If you have something nice and solid behind you, like a desk that you can just casually fall into and lean against when you start falling backwards, that'll help keep you feeling a lot safer. All right? I promise falling like 6 inches backwards into a table is way more comfortable than falling all the way onto your butt. Usually, I prefer to recommend that you do this in front of a wall. If you don't have, 6 feet of open wall space, you just need enough for your back to fit and for your legs to be able to do your side split thing. And the wall is my preferred favorite because your butt can hit, your shoulders can hit, your mid back can hit, and you'll be like, oh, cool, it's not so bad, this is great. I usually do a different demonstration, but I feel like you don't need it. Let's keep going. From here, we're actually doing side splits now. We talked about safety for a moment. Get close to something, so if you start falling backwards, that thing will keep you safe. Open up those legs. Try to get as deep as you can. We've been working these positions all of the last however long we've been here, 45 minutes. Fold forward, just like we're doing with the standing pancake. Put your hands down. Try to do something that looks a little bit like a push-up. You don't need to actually do the push-up. We're just pushing a lot of body weight into our arms, so it makes it easier to externally rotate the legs. We talked about this right at the very beginning during the Cossack switch warm-up. External rotation of the legs is your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. Heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, you have rotated your thigh bones out of the way of your hip bones, and you should be able to drop a bit deeper into your side split. Go ahead and take that space, scoot your butt down, walk your hands back towards your hips, that weight that we shifted forward into our arms. We're gonna shift right back into our legs, use that to get into a deeper stretched position. Whew. Once you're here, you feel like you're pretty much at the end of your flexibility. We're gonna do one last thing. We're gonna wiggle from side to side. We're gonna throw that chest around and see if we can break the friction holding our feet back. Okay, now we're done. 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. 19, 18, 17, 16. Remember, the goal is to relax, is to teach the brain to chill out. This is a-okay. We are safe and happy and healthy, and this is not bad. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in. Kneel for a second if you need it. And when you are able to, come back into standing because we're going to shake it out. What we just did was put a whole bunch of tension into the legs, into the hips, and now we're going to try our best to undo it so that when we come back into round 2 of the side splits, we are as relaxed, as recovered as possible. So we're going to start by shaking it out. I want you to imagine you just washed your hands or just came out of a swimming pool and you got to flick the water off of your body. Do that particularly with your legs because your legs are what we just worked the most. If you need help with balance, you can stick your arms out against the wall, against the desk, something to help you with balance. Kick out that leg. As you get more comfortable with the principle of kicking and flicking your leg out, you can put a little bit more power into it. And shake out that leg. Shake, 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 shake. Add a little bit of left and right. Get the ankle super loose and floppy. Maybe you'll feel your calves just swinging around. We want those muscles loose and relaxed. Switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Pick up the intensity. Flop, wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. What we're doing is basically forcing our muscles to be relaxed with visual proof. All right? If your ankles were really, really tight and contracted and flexing hard, there's no way they could flop around like this, right? As fast as they're flopping around. Same for your calves, for your quads, for your hamstrings. You can't see them as obviously as the ankle flopping around, but the goal is to have all the muscles in the leg flopping around and getting all loose and chilling out. Whew. Okay, now my leg is tired from holding up the leg to shake it out. Take a second, feel what's up with your legs, see if the tension from getting out of that side split is gone. If you're feeling a little bit more chill, that is the goal. We're going to do some very intentional hip socket rotation-y things. What I want you to do is get into a mini squat just a little bit, and I want you to bend the knee a little bit, then rotate that knee in towards the inside of your body so that your hip socket is getting a little bit of love. The muscles around it get a little bit of love. We don't have to do that many, just 3 or 4 on each side. And this will help relax some of the muscles that we didn't just shake out by flicking our legs around. Whew, okay. That is all the stuff that we're gonna do to loosen up. We're gonna do a little bit of joint checking to make sure everything that we did makes our body not work. I don't even know what I'm saying. Just follow me. Hip circles. Hip circles. If everything feels good, we're gonna move right on into some high knees. If everything feels good, we're gonna move on into a mini squat. Throw those hips back, put some pressure on the knees, put some pressure on the ankles, put some pressure on the toes, do a little bit of a calf raise. If everything is feeling good, is feeling stable, is feeling normal for you, then we've basically checked all of the main ways those joints are supposed to move and those muscles are supposed to move. So we're ready to move on into side split number 2. Let's do it. Get in front of your stable thing that will help you from falling backwards and stand about 8 to 12 inches in front. Open up those legs nice and wide. Focus on folding forward. Bring your belly button down. Put your hands down like you're doing a push-up. From here, we're making it easier on ourselves to externally rotate the legs, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are up, heels down, toes up, knees up. We're gonna use that new leg position to get a little bit deeper into the side split. Walk the hands back towards our hips. Put all of that body weight right back into our legs. And when you are as deep as you think you can, we're gonna go a little bit deeper with a little wiggle from side to side. Whew. And with that, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If you're feeling like a badass, you can try to add a little bit of pancake into this. You can try to forward fold, really bring that belly button down towards the ground while you are here. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Oof. Pull your knees in. Chill, relax, hang out for a second. That was our second side split. We have one last one, if you didn't know, because I totally did not say it on this live today. We do 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits with some shaking, some relaxing in between and after. So let's get to the shaking. Come on up into standing. And shake. Shake, 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 shake. Flick, 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 flick. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Take a couple more seconds this time around because we just did 2 rounds, right? Let's go and get ready for our 3rd round with lots of shaking, lots of relaxing, lots of getting loose. I want you to imagine you're one of the car dealership air things that go like this, except mostly for your legs, all right? We're not actually doing that much bending at the waist, in the shoulders, in the back. It's all about the legs, which is exactly what those things have exactly none of. So just work with me. Imagine we're shaking out those legs. Wiggle, flop, shake. Imagine that you are made of jello and your legs are going. I don't know why that's my jello sound. Imagine you are ramen noodles soaking in that cup of hot boiling water for a little too long. You're like a blob of noodles, kind of long, kind of wiggly, kind of springy, That's what we want. Shake out those legs. Shake, 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 shake. And once you have done so much shaking that your hips are tired and they're like, what are you doing? Let's go ahead and move on into some hip rotations. Pop into that mini squat. Point your knee out. We're rotating on the ball of the foot, on the toes, and nothing else is moving. The hips are not moving. Your knees are pointing in different directions, but they're not changing and moving by themselves. All of the movement is coming from the hip socket. We're going to do 3 reps in and out. Don't worry about your maximum range of motion and pushing as hard as you can. We're just trying to loosen up the muscles and give them a little bit of love. Same thing on the other leg. Point it out. Rotate on the balls of your feet. In, out, in, out, in, out. Let those hip muscles relax a little bit. And we're ready to do some more joint checks. Let's do some hip circles. That's 1 or 2. Go back to the other side. If anything feels weird, it feels a little tender, feels a little tight, you can do a couple more. Do some high knees. Make sure your hip flexors are working, contracting properly with no pain. Do a mini squat, fold forward. Drop your pressure into the knees, into the ankles, into the toes. Do a calf raise. Make sure everything is working well together. And once you have successfully done all those things, we've checked the joints, we've loosened up the muscles. It's time for side split number 3. But before we do side split number 3, I've realized I haven't done this a single time this live. We do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community, to have us all suffer here together pretty regularly so that we can make a whole bunch of progress in our side splits, in our hip mobility. So if that sounds fun, that sounds cool, hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things, keep coming back because we're here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern practicing consistency and building some strength for our flexibility. All right, side split number 3, let's go. Get close to your wall, your table, whatever it is that you're leaning against. Usually, I'm pretty short, so I never hit my head on things. But that one kind of hurt. Okay, I'm gonna remember not to do that this time or next time for the future. Whew, let's start that again. Stand in front of whatever you're gonna fall against. That will help keep you safe if you start falling backwards. 8 to 12 inches, a footstep or so is perfect. Open up those legs nice and wide. We are going to fold at the hips, put the hands down, like we're gonna do a little bit of a push-up. We're not doing it for push-up's sake, we're just pushing the weight into the arms so that it's easier on the legs to externally rotate, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. On both sides, heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, we're gonna walk the hands back towards our hips, put that pressure that we kind of threw away out there into our arms, right back into our legs. We're gonna do a little wiggle from side to side to get as deep as possible. And once we have done all those things, we're as deep as we can get, it's time for our third and final side split stretch. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. You can always add a wiggle at any time if you feel like you can get a little bit deeper. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, we're almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. Oof. This is the third and last one. If you want to just lay down, that's fine with me too. Whew. Slowly, if you can, pull your knees in. Relax, chill. If you want to. From here, we're basically set up perfectly for a couple of these to get that quad stretch going and work on that core strength. You don't have to do it. I was just joking. We're already in the position. And when you're ready, come back up into standing. And let's shake it out. Shake, 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 flick, 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 flick. I know this looks funny, and I say this every time because, there's new people on the live every day. But this relaxation, this forced relaxation technique is useful for anything that your muscles get tired of doing. If you are doing some weightlifting, if you are doing some calisthenics, if you shake out your muscles in between your sets, during your rest, it will help your muscles to relax so that you can get a little bit more out of your next set. And this generally applies everywhere. If you're like, wow, this is slow, it takes a long time, don't worry about that. As you get more practice trying to relax and loosen the muscles, you'll start figuring out how to do it much, 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 much faster. And it'll become, I guess, more effective because you're able to get as relaxed with less time. All right. Once you've shaken out your legs a little bit, I want you to experiment a little bit. Usually, when I tell you about flicking your leg forward and back, that means most of the movement is coming sort of from that knee joint. I want you to experiment with sort of flopping back and forth like you're, a dolphin in the ocean. Do a little wiggle back and forth. And additionally, I'm adding a little bit of complexity. You know how we have been doing this to get a little bit of that hip relaxation? I want you to try to do a little bit of that while you're here in this position. You're using the hip muscles to move back and forth, sure, but watch the rest of your leg flop around and relax. And then as you get a little bit more comfortable with that sideways leg rotation, you'll be able to do it a little bit more easily. Just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice. You can start now. Whew. Okay, what else have we not covered? If you haven't succeeded very much at the casual inside-outside leg thing, we're going to do it manually. Let's go. Pop into that squat. Rotate in, rotate out. Again, we're not bending the knee any further. Most of the movement is just coming from the hip joint, turning, right? It's like your shoulder going like this. You're not lifting your elbow. It's the shoulder and the arm bone going up and down. I don't know if that made any sense. That's okay. In, out, in, out. Other side, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Give those hips a light massage. And this doesn't look light at all, I'm sure. Vicious beating. From here, we're going to do our quick joint checks. Hip circles. We're almost done. This is just the last little bit to make sure everything feels good before you go back to the rest of your day and find out something is uncomfortable. Hip circles are done. We're going to do some high knees. We're going to fold forward, put some pressure into this mini squat position, some pressure in the knees, pressure in the ankles, pressure in the toes. Do a calf raise. And with that, if everything is feeling normal, then you are totally, absolutely 100% done. It's time to wrap up. Come on back to the camera. And I guess that's just me coming back to the camera because you're probably right in front of the camera. Because I don't know where we're going with this. We're done. Charles Oxy says, oh, did you end up uploading the YouTube videos you were talking about? Yes, we are making some long form YouTube videos, which are just normal workout YouTube videos, I guess. It's not so live. But if you are tight on time, if your schedule doesn't work, you can't make the live, there are some videos in the world of YouTube that you can go check out. The username is @splitsontheside, so it's the exact same username as on TikTok. If you're already on YouTube over here, then you can just go to the account. @splitsontheside, it is under videos, not lives. Lives takes YouTube recordings of this stuff, and you can go check out those videos over there. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I appreciate the love, the thank yous. Merry Christmas, Ebony. And I'm going to scroll through the rest of the chat to see how things are going, because I have not been back here for a hot second. I'm trying to get back to something that I've seen before so that I can get back in chronological order. Sarah says, yes, I need to build strength. Awesome. Okay. What muscles are we using for that standing pancake? Great question. Standing pancake looks like this. We are opening up the legs. We're folding forward and we're trying to bring the belly button down into the legs. If we are looking at it from the side, it looks like this, or maybe a little bit like this with your butt a little further back. There are a couple of muscles, a lot of muscles actually that we're using, but the main ones are these adductor muscles, the inner thigh muscles. There's actually a whole bunch of them, but we'll just talk about it as the inner thigh muscles. And their job is to pull your leg in towards the center of your body. So when they contract, when they flex, they go whoosh and pull your leg in. When you are doing the opposite, you stretch them out. So, however, when we're doing the standing pancake and we're standing with our legs apart like this, they are flexing, and we're also trying to ask them to relax while they are flexing, right? So these muscles in the inner thighs are contracting and they're getting stronger in this position while we are folding, because they're, doing a hold and trying to keep us from falling out, which, is kind of against what we're trying to do, but at least they're getting stronger and helping you control this position that we're in. As you get stronger, you'll start also getting deeper, and then you'll be working those muscles from a deeper range of motion. The main ones are in the adductors. Technically, all of the muscles in your legs are firing to help keep you balanced. Your feet, even these sort of little tiny calf muscles and thigh muscles are working to keep you from leaning forward, from falling backwards. They're not working nearly as hard as your inner thigh muscles. Whew. Okay, hope that answers the question. I'm gonna scroll down, scroll. Alec, welcome back. Merry Chrysler to you as well. Eom Billy says, good stuff, following. Lovely, thank you for following. The Green Machine sends a smiley emoji. Lovely. And MJ says, I used to be so flexible until I had a kid. I'm so happy I found this. I would love to know more about that. I know that during pregnancy and childbirth, the body releases a whole bunch of hormones to help you be flexible because, babies have to be born. But I don't know what happens afterwards. Are you saying that you got less flexible because you haven't had the opportunity to move because your kid is occupying your whole life? Or are you saying that after childbirth, something magical happened and one day you realized, wow, I'm not flexible at all? What do you associate it with? Maybe not what's the cause and effect, because that would be hard to say. Scrolling down the rest of the chat. Wow, a whole bunch of people have followed and joined. Thank you so much, everybody. Sarah says the shaking probs prevents kinks and cramps, I imagine. Yeah, the shaking helps to loosen your body up, helps to relax the muscles, right? So if you were just doing a whole bunch of bicep curls, you might know that after a couple of sets, you can't even straighten your arm anymore. Your arm is perpetually in a slightly bent angle because your bicep can't figure out how to relax enough to have your arm fully extend, right? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that our bicep can always fully extend because it's able to tap into that ability to relax whenever possible. And that's what we're basically trying to train our legs to do, so that they're not just perpetually getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until you stop being able to move and you look and walk around like this, which I'm exaggerating. Obviously, your legs probably won't do that, not from our 30 seconds of side splits, but that's the intention, to train your body to be able to relax as much as possible. I have covered these, I think. Ebony says, good night. Good night. Travel Doctor says, thanks. I'll watch those videos to show some support. Thank you. Yeah, I think we uploaded one the other day that had gotten like 9 views. So yeah, if you want to watch those, go ahead and do that. I won't stop you. Sarah says, Merry Christmas Eve. And, Ebony agrees with Travel Doctor. Thank you. Yeah, give it some love so the algorithm can send it out into the universe, the internet universe. DBW says, the side of my knees are super tight and prevents me from getting into a wider stretch. That is very normal. If you are, let's go back. If you are struggling with this over here, there's actually a whole bunch of different reasons. The side of your knee, is it the outside of your knee or the inside of your knee? I'm gonna guess that it's the inside of your knee that's keeping you from going into a wider stretch. the only thing you really can do is just slowly build up. When you visually see me doing some of these stretches, it's because I've been doing this every day for a little over a year. So I've been building up flexibility, I've been building up strength for a while now. And I also have sensitivity in the inside of my knee. If you watch the the figure 4 stretch, I frequently say cup the knee to give yourself a little bit of support when you pull the knee into the body. And so I totally empathize with the tight inside of the knee. There are two main places that I am immediately thinking of that we need to work on for you. And the first one is probably the pancake stretch, where you're folding your hips forward. Why do I feel that way? Hold on. Let me double check what I'm talking about. Here we go. Inside of the knee. Just feeling that pressure. And I always feel like it is right here when I do a pancake feeling position. Okay, maybe I could be wrong. This could just be residual damage from an old knee injury. My left knee has old knee injuries. So I feel tightness right here when I do the standing pancake, when I'm folding forward. It doesn't necessarily have all that much to do with the muscle in the knee getting stretched out, because technically your hamstrings are right around here as well. But these are also your adductors. What else do we have over here in the knee? I think it's mostly the adductors and the hamstrings that are back there. So all we can do is take it nice and slow and build up as much strength as we can. All right. So maybe you don't want to be in a standing pancake all by itself. Maybe you want to do some extra movements that work on focusing on the whole entire leg. One of them could be something, oh man, am I gonna have enough room for this? It could be something that looks like a Copenhagen plank, if you want to Google that. And it looks a little bit like this. We're going to use the leg and the inside of the leg to lift our body up and down. And that will help strengthen the muscles on the inside of the leg. And that will also help to strengthen the inside of the knee. Anything else that seems like a really extreme recommendation to give you immediately. It was just the one that I thought of that didn't require much equipment. Inside of the knee. I think you probably need to spend some time doing mobilization. Mobilization meaning you're just trying to get a little bit more movement out of the different things that are connected to your knee. So whether that's like I would never recommend this if you were doing a squat, to have your knee go in and out like so. But if you were just working on a little bit of mobility, it's totally okay to have your knees go in and out like that. And I'll give you a light stretch in the sides of those muscles to help those muscles learn to relax a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think you probably need to do a whole bunch of strengthening to keep that muscle from getting super tight. The reason why those muscles are super tight tends to be because they're scared that you're going to get hurt. So they're flexing really hard all the time to keep you from being able to do stuff. The stronger you are, the less intensely they will have to focus on being super tight. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Sarah says, okay, I'll try some bands for the thigh adductors for sure. Abductors, ABD, are these muscles over here, just to be clear. And they work when you lift the leg up. Adductors, ADD, not BD, are these muscles down here. So you're gonna use bands. I guess bands makes way more sense for abductors, so I think you know exactly what you're talking about. Cool, okay, sweet. I just didn't have the context. Sarah says, you're so informative and inspiring. Thank you. Oh, that's so kind. The Green Machine says, incredible life, so educational. Lovely, okay, great. B. Tia says, it looks hard to do. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I finished, I was like, this is way too hard. I didn't find an easier variation. DBW says, inside of my knee. Yes, okay. That is what I thought. Trying to think if there's anything else immediately off the top of my head that is good for the inside of the knee. The knee is really hard. And, pretty much everybody over the age of like 35 complains about their knees. And I think if you have chronically had issues with your knee, you probably should do some strengthening for it overall. You don't need to do something that's crazy intense. I have done a whole bunch of rehab on this knee, not this month, not the month prior to that either, but 2 months before. I did about a month and a half, 2 months of very focused, pretty gentle workout for the knee, and it is basically pain-free. The main exercises that I was doing before was a deep split squat, which looks a little bit like this. We're going to push the knee far over the toes. We're basically doing a version of this for the Cossack switches. So if you want, you can do Cossack switches, but this is more straightforward and easy to get into. And you can put your hands in front of you, hold the wall in order to help make this a little bit more easy as a deep position. From here, as you work on coming up out of that position, it'll help strengthen the muscles around your knees. It'll help work that range of motion that your knee can get into. And you can do these nice and slow, very safely. The other muscles that I don't think are super relevant to you if you're having inside knee pain that I did a lot of work in was the calf raise and the tibialis raise. The tibialis is this muscle in the front of the leg, and its job is to raise your toes off the ground. When you're jumping and landing, they help to soften that impact. When you land on the balls of your feet, this muscle slows down that contraction and helps to make your knees a little less achy. I don't think, again, it's going to do that much to contribute to the inside of your knee tightness, but in general, it does not hurt to give your knees some extra love, and maybe that will work out perfectly because the knees are super complicated. There's not technically any direct muscle right here where you're feeling the pain. All the muscles go around it, and the ligaments and the soft tissue go around it, and it's hard to train directly, so you got to train a lot of things on either side and all around. I hope that gives you a little bit of direction to spend some time in, and hopefully that helps a little bit with your inner knee tightness. Okay, with that, I think we have covered most of the chat. Let's see what is left. DBW says, thank you for all your suggestions. I will try it for a few months and see what happens. Lovely. Yeah, keep on coming back in and letting me know how it goes so that I'll be reminded to think about this problem more often, and maybe I'll do more research. Reed and Libby says, happy Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve. Oh, hi with 3 exclamation points. I was like, what are those letters? Is that more eyes? Agreed. I think you have to strengthen the quads. Maybe could have PFPS if obese. I actually don't know what PFPS stands for. So feel free to add that into the chat. Strengthening the quads is always helpful. The quads are there to help extend your leg, and they are huge, big old chunky muscle group right here that also looks visually impressive if that's what you care about. So yes, strengthen the legs, strengthen the areas around the knees, strengthen the muscles that tie into the knees, and that in general will always be helpful as long as you're staying pretty even. If you only work on the quads, you don't work on anything else, they might get a little too strong, and then you got to strengthen out everything else to balance it out. It's pretty hard to take it to that extent if you're just a normal human being, but it's technically possible. So, okay, I think I have gotten to the end of the chat. Sarah says, I needed to hear these too. Thank you. Knee rehab stuff. Yeah, I think everybody has knee pain and low back pain. It's pretty much just the state of the universe. There are 2 guys on the internet called Low Back Ability and Knees Over Toes Guy who have been putting out content specifically for the knees and for the low back. I think Low Back Ability has evolved into the whole body, but their content Knees Over Toes Guy I think has evolved to whole body, but they basically had super crappy injuries and had been suffering for a long time, and used exercise to help recover. Knees over toes guy literally has a metal plate, and if you watch his YouTube videos, you can see there's like a weird thing going on with his knee up into his quad muscle. And he tells a story about how he basically couldn't even stand for long periods of time at one point and was struggling. Then eventually he realized if he trained to get strong in a very deep range of motion progressively over the course of a long time, he was able to overcome the pain and get back into sports. So now he has like a super metal knee and leg, and he can also dunk and jump really high and jump off of things and do cool stuff. So his whole entire business at this point is giving out most of the exercises and information for free, and he runs a gym where people come in and get expert critique, I guess, and he sells some physical products to help you with some of those exercises, help you do it at home. I think he's sounds like a really cool guy. So you can check that out, Knees Over Toes guy, if you want some more knee-specific rehab stuff. If you're just about like everybody else and you have some low back stiffness, achiness, you can also try out some low back ability content. His story is very similar. He had some low back injury, trained for a long time, doing the typical rehab stuff that's very gentle and avoidant of the source of the problem, and strengthening around the joint, getting the pain receptors in your body to get used to you using that thing that is painful so that you can eventually overcome the injury. Instead of avoiding, you go take care of it. That's the principle for both those accounts. Yeah, go ahead, check those out. Those guys are awesome. I've put in some of the Knees Over Toes guys recommendation. I think it's Knees Over Toes guys recommendations, and my knee actually does feel a ton better. I used to wake up and I'd be like, ooh, it's a bad knee day. I don't think I've had one of those in like 3 or 4 months. So it has been really dramatic. Oh, the one thing that has been the craziest of all the things that I didn't expect was walking backwards on a treadmill that's turned off. You're just making it a little bit harder to push and pull your leg backwards, right? So walking backwards on a treadmill that's turned off, your leg comes back here, and then you're pulling and you're dragging the rubber down and towards the front of your leg. It's really, 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 really gentle. Like, you're not working that hard. But it's crazy. It's just game changer. I don't know what it is. So you don't have a needle working treadmill. You can just have a broken one. As long as the belt thing spins, doesn't need a motor, you can do a whole bunch of knee rehab. Sorry, I was super excited about that because it was helpful for my knees. Let's see what else we got in the chat and whether or not it's time to wrap up. I think that is everything. Everybody is good. So we are ready to shut it down for today. Thank you everybody for coming in. Christmas Eve hangout. And Sarah says, my tibia was shattered in a car accident in 2021. So thankful for physical therapists like yourself. I am not really a physical therapist. I just like fitness and solving my own body issues and making sure that everybody else can have a place to do those things. One of the hardest things for all of medicine, all of people in general, is following through on the prescription, right? Like following through on the thing that we're trying to do. And it's what I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to bring some good energy, some information, and hopefully some proof that I'm doing alongside with you so that you are a little bit more motivated to show up and do the thing that you got to be doing. In this case, maybe it's hip mobility, but if you apply the same principles out into the rest of your life, maybe it's the knee work for your tibias, for the other muscles. Melinda Gake says, let's work on abs after we do the splits. Do you want to do it like right after? Because I guess technically we can. I'd be able to, just like, yeah. And so we're talking about knees, and if you really focus on, If you really focus on, I don't know, what was I even talking about? Walking backwards on a treadmill, your knees will feel better. Let's do some more abs. I'm mostly joking, but we can definitely integrate other stuff. I'm concerned that it will start running super, 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 super long because we're basically at an hour. I mean, right now we're already past an hour and a half total, but yeah, most people don't have 2 hours in their lives to give to fitness. So I'm trying to be conscious of that for the videos. And that's also why I talk really fast. I talk a lot, but I try to talk fast and I try to talk through each of the exercises so that you're getting all the information that you need. You probably get more than is actually helpful, but there are a lot of new people coming in every day because of the algorithms, which I appreciate. So I'm not complaining, but I try to be inclusive of everybody. So I'm just spewing information out into the universe, and hopefully you get a piece that's useful for you and is relevant for you so that you can make a little bit more progress. Cool. I appreciate all the compliments. In fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot so that when videos start performing really bad, I can be like, no, don't worry, people like me, this is okay. All right, I think that is everything. So I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the exercises. I hope you liked the workout. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I think you did because you've been here for like an hour and a half. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. Enjoy time with family or whoever you decide to hang out with. That's it. We are wrapping up. Oh, okay, we got one more question. Melinda Gake says, or asks, back of the knee muscle, it's been bothering me. Any specific stretches? Back of the knee muscle. Are you having discomfort like right here in the back of the knee? I don't think there are that many muscles that are doing anything in the back of the knee. There's stuff right above the knee and right below the knee. There are ligaments. Is there anything I can flex? Is it? Back of the knee. Can you be more specific? Below, mostly. Okay. Then it's probably the insertion points of some of the bigger leg muscles that are giving you discomfort. It could be your tendon is a little achy. So maybe taking a couple of days off and seeing if that helps would help to identify whether or not you're just uncomfortable because something is irritated in your leg. I don't know what it would be that is causing just under the knee, back of the knee, to feel really uncomfortable versus where the main parts of the muscles are, right? Like if it was your calf that was causing you to be uncomfortable, it would be more likely that you'd feel the discomfort here in the main part of the calf, the belly of the muscle, and not at the insertion point of the muscle. Same for the rest of those calf muscles. So I'm not 100% sure. Do I have a recommendation for calf stretches? Yeah, absolutely. If you want, you can lean forward and focus on flattening the foot to the ground. Bring the knee forward, straight leg in front, and that should be plenty in terms of a calf stretch. If you want to take that and add some strengthening to it, where my yoga blocks at? There they are. You can. Is this visible? Nope, it's not visible. What if I go over here? That's visible. If you have, oh man, this shelf almost smashed into my head again. If you have the ability to stack maybe some textbooks, something stable to step on, you can try, actually I'm gonna scoot this back. You can try to do a calf stretch into a calf raise, which will look something like this. And that will help both increase your mobility and also strengthen your calf in that whole entire range of motion. And maybe, just maybe, that might be enough to undo whatever's going on with the top of your calf muscle. I'm not so certain that that would, but maybe it will. And What else? If you want to work on your deeper calf muscles, because there's two main calf muscles. There's this one over here. I'm flexing really hard to show you there are two lines. There's this one, which is what most people think of when they think of the calf muscle. And then there's this one, which is a deeper second calf muscle. The deeper second one doesn't get stretched when your knee is straight. It only gets stretched when your knee is bent. And we do this in the Cossack switch. That's the one that I'm talking about when I say feel the Achilles tendon and that second calf muscle. You can do the same thing. You can, which leg am I trying to demonstrate? You can bend the knee, lean into the wall, and try to get into the calf stretch like so. And you can do the exact same thing with knee bent on this yoga block, I guess. Try to find something a little bit more stable. But if your knee is bent, you can still get that calf stretch, and you can still do a calf raise from that calf stretch. And that will help increase your strength and your ability in those calves. And maybe, just maybe, that will help with whatever's going on up here in the top of the backside of your knee. Whew, cool. All right. But yeah, feel free to go get advice from somebody with expertise. That is the best I can do. Okay, I think now we are officially done with the chat. There's still 15 of you on TikTok. This is so cool, so lovely. I think I am out of stuff to say for today. So thank you so much for coming in. I hope you enjoyed practicing, building some consistency. 50 minutes ago, probably mentioned this, we do 45 minutes of live side split stretching starting every single day for consistency, to build a little bit of community and to hopefully practice consistency together so that we can make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split hip mobility goals. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are here every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope you had fun with our workout. I hope you enjoyed the good vibes, the good energy, the stretch, the strengthening, the suffering on the floor that we did together. Because that's it. That's all we got. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. And I hope to see you there. Merry Christmas. Good night. I will be here for sure. We got weird comments coming in. So it's a perfect time to shut things off. Goodbye, everybody. Wrapping up on this side as well. I'm going to check the comments, checking who is still on. I have 4 people on YouTube, and I am wondering. Oh, okay. Nobita, are you still on? Or are you gone? No comment. Okay, well, in that case, I'm wrapping up here on YouTube as well. Thank you for coming in, everybody. Thank you for practicing consistency, stretching with me. And I hope you had fun. We do this every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. So come on out, hang out, get stretchy, and hopefully we'll get some side splits progress together. Thank you for coming in, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I'll be here. Bye.